Well, hello again. It's Amy Miyamoto, and it's Veda Day 10. It's hard to believe that Veda is almost a third of the way over already. How did that happen? Anyway, today I thought I would take a little inspiration from my fellow Veda cheerleader, fellow participant, and champion of keeping it going with no excuses, Larry Snow, and do a little reflection video of my experience of Veda so far this time around. Excuse me. I think the thing, that I really wanted to, address today is to go back to what my original intention for this Veda is this time around, and that is to, really just, moving my hand here, no excuses, keep going, is to really just up my confidence level and my comfort level with turning on the camera at, a moment's notice, and speaking from the heart, in terms of whatever happens to be on my mind at that moment, and not feel like I've got all this other gunk in the way of, how am I going to sound and what am I going to look like, and do I have, my hair done enough or makeup on or blah, 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 and let the moment pass me by in terms of capturing and getting out there, some little nugget of wisdom that I think, at least for me in that moment, is helpful or insightful and may be of service to someone else. Because I think for me, one of the things that has drawn me to vlogging versus blogging or writing is the immediacy of the medium, as well as, for me personally, it's a different kind of mechanism, flow. It's a different sort of creative form that happens for me when I'm speaking than when I'm writing. And for me, it really isn't even an issue of, well, I'm not a good writer, because I actually think I am a pretty good writer. I have studied writing. I have spent years teaching writing to students. But I do recognize that my creative writing process looks and feels quite different than my speaking process. And my experience is that all kinds of things come up and through quite quickly when I'm speaking. And the creative flow process is just a whole different animal and pace and flow when I use the medium of writing. So with that recognition, if I'm not going to be speaking with people one-on-one, face-to-face, I recognize that, the game changer is for me to get as comfortable as possible and as real as possible and, dare I say, with, authentic as possible, having a conversation to this little, black dot here, as if, you who's watching this is right on the other end. And I know for me personally, when I started with video, it was not the same experience. It did not feel the same. There was all kinds of baggage and issues I had about showing up as myself fully, and talking into this little dot here, than what my experience was when I was talking privately, with other people one-on-one, whether it was individual or in small groups. There was just a difference with how I was able to show up on camera versus in person, and I knew that was going to be a game changer. It still is unfolding as to how that is going to play out in my life and in my work and service in the world, but I do know that showing up as much as I can, fully as me, without any pretense or, hang-ups or fears about how I am coming across, because I'm speaking to this little dot instead of a real person is a challenge worth taking on. And not just for me, but I highly recommend it for anyone who is wanting to get their, big message, their big medicine out into the world in a bigger and more powerful and impactful way. So that's the message for today. Veda Day 10. I would love to hear in the comments below what your thoughts are about your experiences with stepping in front of the camera, speaking in front of the camera, what excites you about it, what terrifies you about it, because my experience has been a lovely combination of both of those and everything in between over the last year or two. So we'll wrap it up there. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you again tomorrow on Veda Day 11. Ciao for now. Thanks. Bye.